we heard about from Coach Long, showing its muscles there. Lichtenberg from his own end zone takes a bit of a shot, throws it up, and it's caught by Zyros near the 30, still going out of bounds at the 39. Actually, scratch that, it's Jack Ryder with the catch. His second grab to go along with a touchdown grab he had earlier. St. John's able to throw it up, a 38-yard gain to the 40 for a first down.
And that's what we're expecting to see tonight. You know, these overmatched DBs for Fremont Ross are definitely going to have their hands full for the rest of this game with these receivers from St. John's.
2 catches for 63 yards already for Jack Ryder. First and 10 from the 40. St. John's moving right to left here in this opening quarter. Throw it out wide, going up the near sideline and achieving a first down for St. John's is Jaden McKinstry. His second catch, 11 yards and a first down. Rusher and Atkins bring him down for Fremont Ross.
Little Giants brought the blitz that time.
Perfect time to run the screen with that blitz coming. It was successful. Getting it out of his hands quickly is Lichtenberg. Which Larry McDaniel loves to work the ball quickly out of the hands of his talented quarterback. And he's drawn up some nice plays so far early on in this contest. Titans with a 21-0 lead. We are past the halfway point of quarter number 1. And we have a penalty against Fremont Ross. That's going to go from the end of the play. May have been offsides. It was offsides and actually declined. So first penalty against Fremont Ross, although not accepted. First and 10 into Little Giants territory. Lichtenberg rolls away for pressure. Lofting deep, going out there. Zyros, and it go through his hands. Incomplete, the wind playing with it a bit, but Zyros had beaten his hand long. One-on-one coverage. St. John's is feasting, getting themselves into matchups like that tonight. Just missed another touchdown.
Lichtenberg just a little bit too much on that one. Had his receiver open. He'd like to get that one back.
There's that tall frame of Zyros, 6'4", junior. Just the outside threats for St. John's. A lot for these 5'8" corners to handle tonight for the Little Giants. And Mitsopoulos on that shovel pass. 45, breaks out of a tackle and has to be tripped up at the 36. So I will say, great job by Dion Bradley to stick with it after Mitsopoulos brought the truck stick. It's a 13-yard gain, first down Titans.
Everything seems to be going right for these Titans, whether through the air or on the ground. Their line is giving Lichtenberg time to throw it, and they're opening up holes for these runners.
37 all-purpose yards already for Mitsopoulos, 2 catches. First and 10 from the 36 of Fremont Ross. Lichtenberg staring down the field, pressure comes late, hits a man at the 25, and inside the 20 to the 18-yard line, Jack Ryder with another catch. Bryson Hammer had to trip him up in coverage again. Ryder beating his man, and the middle of the field was open. 17 yards.
Clean pocket every time.
Yeah, the pressure not coming quick enough for Fremont Ross. Lichtenberg, handoff. And going in between the tackles is Toth. Maybe achieved the 17. Micah Hill, the stop once again. He has been so busy. Dontrez Brown also with the stop for Fremont Ross. Dontrez Brown heading to Bowling Green State University to try and help that defensive line out next year.
Give credit to this St. John's O-line. They are definitely doing everything that's being asked of them tonight.
Lichtenberg faked a pass outside. Mitsopoulos and Ryder were ready to receive it. May have been a bit of a busted play, but in any case, Lichtenberg was able to improvise and move up the field for 3. 3rd and 4. Actually, they give him more like 4 on the play for Lichtenberg. 3rd and 4 from the 13. Titans up 3 scores, 3.5 to go, opening quarter. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Lone receiver out there is Zyros. Lichtenberg looked that way for a moment, lofts it to the end zone, and a jump ball, incomplete. McKinstry juggled it as he made the catch, it so appeared, but juggled it and then fell on the back pylon, and they're going to rule it incomplete. That will not be changed. 4th down.
It's a great effort there. Just couldn't keep his feet in bounds. Great catch. Just not enough real estate there.
And that was part of it, too. Lichtenberg dealing with that breeze, putting up the high pass. And nearly able to complete it. A bobble and also running out of room. And so Chlebowski from inside the hash marks with a field goal to try and put St. John's on the board again. It is up and it is good. 30 yards out from Chlebowski. Makes it 24-0 St. John's Jesuit with 3:14 to go in the opening quarter. 3 drives so far and 3 scores for the St. John's offense. And this time they were backed up in their own 2, Mo, able to drive it all the way down.
Doesn't seem to bother them being backed up all the way to their goal line. No problem for this Titan offense.
This is a St. John's team that obviously has played a lot of tough games this year. The 2-3 record really doesn't show how capable this team is. They did drop lay an egg against Anthony Wayne on the road as the Generals blew them out, but nonetheless, the Generals have blown out a lot of teams early on in this season, and 2 tough losses otherwise to the kings of the track, Whitmer and Central Catholic. And hence the record stands at what it is for St. John's. They do boot this one deep. Chlebowski able to navigate his way up to the 25. Bryson Hammer, the returner. And he does return it for 15 yards, and Fremont Ross will have another drive open up. Their 3rd of the game, still searching for points. The last drive, very successful for the Titans. They were able to drive it 85 yards and did so in right about 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, they've definitely controlled the tempo from the onset, and they look to do the same.
Whistle, flag, and a false start will go against Fremont Ross. So that is their first accepted penalty of this ball game. Moves it back to the 20, 1st and 15. 3:09 remaining in quarter number 1. Titans on homecoming. Been impressive. Caden Holmes sends a man in motion. Right to left, they roll out, they throw out, incomplete. Too high for the rolling tight end. And that was Carson Brandon, 6'1 senior, 200 pounds. Big fella. And incomplete, brings up 2nd and 15.
St. John putting pressure on Fremont Ross.
Yeah, the pressure has been great so far, hasn't it? Made it difficult on Caden Holmes early. 2nd and 15. And they'll shovel it backwards, trying to find room. Rusher. And he's going to lose a bit of, get back towards the original line of scrimmage. Play that honestly could have transpired worse. Didn't look too promising from the get-go, but Rusher was able to gain 3. 3rd and 12.
Again, we're seeing that snap from center to quarterback.
Yeah, there was a little wobble in the football as it went back to Caden Holmes. 3rd and 12, on 23. 2 receivers left. Tight end on the right side. Pressure instantly comes. Rolling Holmes, and incomplete. Throwing it towards the far side. Intended for Spencer Price, 5'9 junior target. The incompletion brings up 4th down. 12. So a 3 and out for the Little Giants.
They just can't seem to get a rhythm going yet. This St. John's defense keeping them on their heels.
Yeah, they definitely have to this point. Nothing really going the way of the Little Giants. Nearly a block, and there's that low driving punt. Once again, picked up at the 41 by Mitsopoulos, trying to spin out of that tackle and finally buried under. Ooh, big time hit there on special teams by Ethan Green, who was a defensive lineman, a sophomore for Fremont Ross, finished him off. And 40-yard line, St. John's will start off yet another drive with a 24-0 lead. St. John's, in terms of drives here today, have started at the 41, the Ross 37, their own 2, and now their own 40. So they've won the field position game as well, holding down this Ross offense.
And doing it efficiently.
Absolutely. Pair of receivers each way, handoff, juking outside. CJ Valentine, the senior running back, gets moving. He has a first down past the 50 and out near the 46. CJ Valentine with an impressive 14-yard gallop.
Very nice run there. Turned the corner. What looked to be a 7 or 8 yard gain turned into a 15-yard gain.
CJ Valentine has run for 110 yards this year, 22 totes. Carson Toth, the main running back, 35 for 133 entering play tonight. This is a heavy passing team though. Valentine outside he goes. Going to be slowed up as he crosses the line of scrimmage, but bowls forward for a couple to the 44. Second down coming up and 8. So they may start to feed these backs with the 24-0 lead. Gives that rushing offense a chance to get some work in here tonight. Second and 8 from the 45. Lichtenberg rolling left, has room, gonna run. 40, 35, slides down. Lichtenberg gives himself up. And again, just a great job actually covering down the field by Fremont Ross, but they didn't have a spy for the quarterback, who escaped for 12.
Yep. The DBs had their assignments right this time, but left Lichtenberg a lot of field there for him to gallop and get the first down.
So we finally get those receivers under wraps, and then Lichtenberg shows you what he can do with his feet.
It's a dangerous offense.
Difficult man to stop. 3 receivers, 1st and 10 from the 33. Running back behind him is Valentine, and he's coming near side. Valentine takes on a defender. He crossed the 30, got to the 28. Bryson Hammer, who's been busy, the freshman DB, 5'6", 130, with a stop at the 28. Giving up a lot of size is Bryson Hammer, but we've seen a lot of aggression from him today, making plays despite the differential in weight and height.
Yeah, he's definitely putting it out there tonight. Valentine at the end of that play dropped his shoulder and, put a little emphasis.
Finish that run.
That's right.
As he did. End of 1 quarter here at Leiden Field on the campus of St. John's Jesuit High School in Toledo. And homecoming has been strong so far for the Titans. They lead Fremont Ross by a score of 24-0. And they're driving with the ball at the 28-yard line in the Little Giants when we resume. Hall of Fame night as well going on tonight for St. John's, and one of our own, Tom Cole from the BCSN family. He's being inducted into the St. John's Hall of Fame, so that's going to be a cool ceremony that's going on during the halftime festivities here tonight. And yeah, really just a special night, Mo, and you're able to bring back, many different types of people to come back to St. John's and take in a football game. When you see the homecoming festivities, the Hall of Fame festivities, it's a really special night for this.
Absolutely.
For this entire program.
Absolutely. This is a special night, and congratulations to Tom Cole and all the other Hall of Fame inductees tonight. Definitely a special evening.
And the Titans offensively have made it a special evening on the field as well. Jaden McKinstry, a little bit of a hobble off the field. He will start the second quarter on the sideline. The Titans will move left to right in the navy and gold uniforms tonight, and Fremont Ross in the visiting whites. Right to left, they'll move in the second quarter. Second and 5 for Lichtenberg. To the air, finds Jack Ryder. Nice juke, and is able to get up to the 15-yard line. But Jack Ryder, 13 more yards, just keeps these chunk games going for the Titans.
That was almost like a little Xbox move. He stopped, hesitated, what looked like was going to be a tackle. He somehow escaped it, turned it into positive yardage.
5 successful plays for the Titans on this drive so far. They're at the 15, pressure Cubs. Lichtenberg takes a shot, they throw it up top, and McKinstry again going up, but couldn't make the catch. Darian Ayers in coverage for Fremont Ross, doing his best, get up a couple inches though. But again, Lichtenberg dealing with this breeze today. That's a great ball to the corner of the end zone, just misfired.
St. John's taking advantage of that mismatch on the DBs, looking to capitalize with their bigger receivers.
That height, no doubt, is a problem, especially against this Fremont Ross team. 2nd and 10. Lichtenberg with a running back next to him, Valentine. They throw it out there. Valentine, and did he make the catch? He did, but bobbled it off the initial grab. Lichtenberg was looking at him there out of the backfield the entire way. 5-yard gain, 3rd and 5. So a good little design play to the running back, Valentine. They actually gave him 6 on the play, 3rd and 4 from the 9. St. John's so far 3 for 3 on scoring drives. They've added a pick 6 as well. 3rd and 4, and Valentine, the tote up the middle. Valentine to pay dirt. A touchdown for St. John's. CJ Valentine, 9-yard gallop. 30-0 Titans. 10:47 to go. Quarter number 2.
Easy draw play off guard. CJ Valentine able to take it right up the middle. Touchdown Titans.
First touchdown of the season for St. John's. CJ Valentine on the ground. Oh, nicely done. And it comes on 3rd down nonetheless.
Blocked.
And the extra point blocked here. Cholbowski, no good. Nice hustle there by Fremont Ross to get into the backfield. Xavier Urbina and others helping to combine on it for Fremont Ross. 10:47 to go in quarter number 2. St. John's 30 and Fremont Ross nothing. Another strong drive though, Bo, as they're able to start from their own 40 and move it right down the field in a little over 3 minutes time.
Everything going right for this St. John's offense, whether on the ground or through the air. They are moving the ball just about any way they want and pushing this little giant defense down the field.
8 plays, 60 yards, and a touchdown for St. John's on that drive. It took 3 minutes and 19 seconds as they were able to bump the lead to 30. Fremont Ross, an offense that has struggled this year, has scored no more than 7 points to this win-4 start, or at least in losses. They've been shut out or have scored only 7. The offense has struggled tonight. From the 11, the return slipping down and going down at the 22-yard line. This is the return man for Fremont Ross. Bryson Hammer stayed busy returning that kick. So 3 drives for Fremont Ross to this point. A pick 6, a punt, and a punt. What does this little Giants offense need to do to get something going, Mo?
They need to get a little rhythm going. I think maybe try running the ball, taking a little bit of pressure off of this quarterback and maybe get a little bit of momentum that way.
Caden Holmes has had a lot on his plate early on here tonight. 1st and 10 from the 23, the Little Giants. They'll throw it, caught. The screen pass, slips a tackle, pushing him forward, 30, past the 35. A strong play there for the Little Giants to start off this drive.
It's a great effort and a great play call. Screen right there, extension of the run, perfect play call, positive yardage, first down. That's what the Little Giants need right there.
Cyrus LeGroux was the quarterback on the play, by the way. The backup, he is a senior, 6'2", 205 pounds, and also a lefty. And he completed that football to Rusher for 13 yards and a first down at the 36. First down of the game. LeGroux, another slant too high, and also had a lot of mustard on that pass. Too quick. It got to Spencer Price. 2nd and 10. Well, you want to get the ball out of your hands there, but a little too much behind that one.
That's right. Right play call, a little too quick on the release.
A tick under 10 minutes to go first half. 30-0 Titans. 2nd and 10 for Cyrus LeGroux and the Little Giants offense. LeGroux in the gun at his own 31. And in motion right to left. Tight end.
Low snap.
And low snap, spinning out of a tackle in the backfield is Rusher. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. First contact, though, for St. John's made by John Speidel, the senior defensive end, and ends up being no gain for Rusher. 3rd and 10. Actually, they will mark him for a yard loss. Antonio Williams also with a big part in bringing him down in the backfield. 3rd and 11. But there's that push we see from the defensive line, which has had a bit of a field day against the offensive line of Fremont Ross so far. 3rd and 11. With 35, LeGroux was clapping his hands for the football, and in the process, a false start occurred. Second penalty on Fremont Ross for 10 yards. 3rd and 16. Those are the type of penalties that get you behind the sticks, Mo, and make it really difficult on this 3rd and 16.
Yeah, these are the ones you got to avoid. The simple mistakes. Being down 30-0 right now, you got to avoid jumping off sides and moving your team back 10 yards. Credit to this St. John's defense. They have been all over this Fremont Ross offense.
Yes, they have to this point. It ends up being a 4-play drive for Fremont Ross that stalls out after they gained 8 yards. Driving bunt kicks off of a Titan here, it appears, and trying to follow the football. Fremont Ross does at the 35. Hit off the leg of Chad Bird, a junior defensive back, and Deion Bradley fell on it at the 35 for the Little Giants. So a fortuitous break. Little Giants will get the ball back with 8:15 to go in quarter number 2.
Definitely the break they were looking for here. They need something good to happen. That's a good way for it to start. Bounce off of the St. John's receiver. Fremont Ross able to cover it up. Good field position, looking to convert.
So Cyrus LeGroux right back out there from the St. John's 35, and Rusher, the intended target on a screen pass that was knocked down. Great defensive play. Brad Geis, the senior defensive lineman, got into the backfield and knocked it down. 2nd and 10.
This Titan D-line is really making it hard on this Fremont Ross offensive line. They are really turning the corner quick and getting to this quarterback really, really fast tonight.
They're loading up the box again on 2nd and 10 from the 35. And in motion towards the backfield. LeGroux. And handoff going nowhere. Daniel Rusher. Play did not look positive from the start for Fremont Ross. Rusher loses 5, 3rd and 15.
They were all over that one.
Yeah, that's a play you maybe wish you have an alternate option there to go to, an alternate play with St. John's loading the box and expecting the run, and they did not have one in the bag of tricks that time. 3rd and 15 from the St. John's 40 for LeGroux and the Little Giants. 2 receivers right, 1 left. LeGroux to throw. Pressure comes late. Throw. What a catch made with a defensive back all over his back to the 25-yard line. Spencer Price with his first catch and able to move the chains for a first down. Pick up a 15. And pass interference against St. John's is declined. So, wow, what a catch there by Spencer Price, moves the chains.
That was impressive. That's what Fremont Ross needs right here, these kinds of plays.
Just something to get him going. 1st and 10, LeGroux claps his hands, looks right, throws out, and tip drill catch made at the 16. Deflected by Jason Jerwa, it appeared.
Talk about right place at the right time.
Yeah, and made the catch to the 16. Fortuitous play there, ends up in the hands of the receiver. It appeared to be Deion Bradley out there. 2nd and 2. Risky throw from LeGroux. And St. John's jumps off sides. A little overeager. The Titans trying to come off the edge there with Austin Perkins, senior linebacker. And a 5-yard penalty. Now 3 penalties for 25 yards on St. John's. Here come the Little Giants after the fumble on the punt by the Titans. Everyone coming. LeGroux throws it somehow to Rusher, trying to juke out of trouble, but cannot. What a play. Just took the football away by LeGroux. Yes, Daniel Rusher, that's the most difficult 1-yard loss on a catch he'll have, but nonetheless, much better than a sack.
Boy, LeGroux had 3 Titan defenders coming right at him with a bull rush, and somehow he was able to get that one away for positive yards. Hats off.
Past the halfway point of the second quarter, 30-0 Titans. 2nd down and 11 from the 12. Rusher goes at LeGroux. They throw over the middle and well behind his intended receiver. Incomplete. 3rd down and 11. Wanted a slant route in the middle of the field. Bryson Hammer, the intended target. What are you drawing up here on 3rd and 11, Mo?
Boy, LeGroux's been, they've been dialing up the pressure on him. He's looking end zone.
4-down territory, I'm sure, as well for Fremont Ross, with the score being what it is.
Definitely.
3rd and 11, pressure off the edges. Down the middle, incomplete. Nearly intercepted. Intended for Hammer again. And nearly picked off in the middle of the field by the Titans.
Great coverage by St. John's again. All over these Little Giant receivers, not giving them much space.
Garrison Hill, the sophomore, nearly came up with the interception. 4th down, 11 from the 12 for Fremont Ross. After the first turnover against the Titans, they are looking to make a play here, and a timeout will be taken by Coach Long. Their first of the half, and it comes with 5:25 to go in the opening half. So some positive things have started to swing the way of Fremont Ross in this second quarter. Started to see Cyrus LeGroux, the new quarterback, get a couple things going. You get the botched punt for St. John's and a couple first downs here to get the football down to the 12. But it's go time to try and cash this one in.
Fremont Ross looking to put some points up on the board here before the end of the first half. Hopefully go into the halftime locker room, make the necessary adjustments, and come back out for a better second half.
So big play here for the Little Giants coming up. St. John's has already broken their huddle. And the Little Giants will follow suit. Coach Long getting things situated here on 4th and 11. LeGroux sends 2 men to the right, 1 to the left. Running back is Rusher on his right hip. The 4th down play. Rusher comes near side, throwing towards the end zone. Got it there, down at the 1, but it's going to be a first down for Fremont Ross. What a catch made by Bryson Hammer, who wiggled towards the sideline, gained 11.
And now they got 4 shots at a touchdown just inside the 1-yard line.
They are going to measure this, but Hammer did achieve the 1, was not able to reach the football out towards the goal line. Would to anyway with a couple Titans there. That ball had a little bit of hang time, Mo, but still found its way in there.
Yeah, that was a scary one, but he made the catch, turned it upfield, and almost got inside the end zone. Just a little short.
I guess sometimes you have to show confidence in yourself, and even if it is a tight window throw with the wind being the way it is, got to try and loft it out there, and he did.
That's right.
Close. Is he short? He is.
Wow.
Oh, tough break for Fremont Ross. Bryson Hammer so close to moving the chains, and St. John's will take over at their own 1. Oof. Couple inches, if that.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. They were hoping to get some points on the board there. Just a few inches short.
8 plays, they ended up moving at 34 yards and did so in just under 3 minutes, but a turnover on downs has given St. John's the football back at their own 1.
Here comes this Titan offense again.
What you probably don't want to see if you're Fremont Ross. Brady Lichtenberg and company back on the field. Lichtenberg just going to dive up the middle to the 3, maybe the 4. Just give yourself a little bit of breathing room. Nearly got to the 5. They did give him 4 yards. That's a very effective QB sneak. Interesting to see with the score how aggressive St. John's will be on this drive. Screen pass out for Toth. Crosses the 5 and down at the 7. Nice job by the Little Giants, able to bring them down. Josh Atkins was able to submarine him to the ground. 3rd down and 4 after a pickup of 3. Just trying to get the running back involved. And Atkins marked down Toth. 4:10 to go in the half. Lichtenberg changing the play at the line. Making some adjustments. 3 receivers, 2 left. Pressure comes near side. Lichtenberg steps away, rolling. Has a first down, out of bounds, across the 10 and short of the 15. Massive pressure from the Little Giants front, causing him to get in motion. And he achieved the 12 going out of bounds on the far sideline, just enough for that first down. Give him 5. Clock does stop with 3:58 to go in the half.
Everything seemingly going right for this Titan offense tonight.
Finding a way, aren't they? Carson Toth, a strong run right up the middle of the field. A tremendous run to the 29-yard line, moving forward for 17 as the ground game does get going for Toth and the Titans. And now we have a dinged-up Little Giant. Not what you want to see, just short of the 30-yard line. As St. John's is able to move the chains here. So we're hoping everything is okay down there on the field. Of course, we are up here above the press box tonight, and by game's end may need a little bit of hot chocolate to keep the blood flowing up here. 54 degrees tonight. That wind seems a lot stronger, northeast at 9, but we're getting the full gusts up here. But as you were mentioning before the game, Mo, this really is football weather.
That's what I keep telling myself. This is football weather.
This is what we're supposed to be dealing with.
That's right.
This time of year, although earlier this week, 90 degrees on Tuesday. Quite a difference. Wouldn't really expect much different, though, in Northwest Ohio this time of year.
That's exactly right.
Clock has resumed. 1st and 10 for St. John's after the 17-yard run for Toth. He has another carry, 35-40. Breaks out of a tackle, crosses the 50 to the 47. And actually, the 46, Atkins the stop. And into Little Giant territory is Toth.
This Titan offensive line opening up holes for, you could drive a truck through them.
Yeah, Carson Toth had a ton of room there to run. 25 yards. Wasn't much resistance from the linebacking core either. 3:10 to go in the half. John's using the run. Metsopoulos rolling out near side. They throw it backwards to him. Metsopoulos, a juke move, 45. Gets around a defender, stays on his feet and inbounds. Look at him go. Metsopoulos going to bounce it all the way near side. Metsopoulos taking off towards the far sideline. He's still on his feet and down at the 34. What an incredible run by Metsopoulos. It turns into a 12-yard gain.
Great run right there by Metsopoulos. That was fun.
Are you kidding me? What a run by Metsopoulos. 12 yards. Boy, he's one of those players you just get the ball in his hands and see what he can do. And he made a play there for St. John's. 1st and 10 at the 34. Lichtenberg in the pistol. Toth bounces behind left guard and only moved up forward for 1 to the 33. Dontrez Brown able to help Micah Hill make the stop on Toth. 2nd and 9 with nearly under 2 minutes to go in the half. Have to get into your 2-minute offense. St. John's does have all 3 timeouts at their disposal. 3 receivers right for Lichtenberg. 2nd and 9, throwing down the middle. What a catch! There's that man again, Dimitri Metsopoulos, right down the seam. 22 yards, the hookup between Lichtenberg and Metsopoulos.
Great play right there, right down the middle.
Yeah, really just ran a seam route and wide open for him. 1st and 10 to the 11. Toth running inside the 10, near the 8. Josh Atkins, the stop, brings up 2nd down and 7. Toth getting a lot of action here as this drive continues. They can get a 1st down without scoring. Lichtenberg to the air and nearly caught by McKinstry. Another good ball back shoulder throw. And in coverage was Darian Ayers. 5'5" defensive back who is a sophomore, 3rd and 6.
St. John's testing these Little Giant DBs all night, aware of the size advantage they have and trying to take full advantage of it.
And they really want to get the ball to McKinstry, you can tell. 3 shots to the end zone for him tonight. 3rd and 6. And Lichtenberg goes the other way. Catch. Touchdown. Thomas Zyros. Second score of the evening. 7-yard score, and Brady Lichtenberg has it all going for St. John's tonight. They lead 36-0, 1:01 to go in the opening half.
Lichtenberg looking really sharp tonight. Everything going right for him.
An 11-play drive for St. John's. They go the length of the field, 99 yards. After the turnover on downs, and the point after a touchdown is up and good from the Titans and Schlabowski. 1:01 to go, second quarter, 37-0. Titans leading the Little Giants here at Leiden Field tonight. That ends up being a 11-play, 99-yard drive in 4 minutes and 16 seconds. And Brady Lichtenberg with another touchdown, his third of the night, and the Titans have the 37-0 lead.
Field position doesn't seem to be a problem for these Titans tonight.
No, absolutely not. To this juncture. Again, so close Hammer was to getting that first down on the other end for the Little Giants. Was only a couple inches away. And just couldn't quite get to the marker, and then St. John's goes the other way for the touchdown. And it's been a happy senior night for the Titans. Schlabowski going to boot it deep from the 10. Bring it up. 25, 26, maybe even 27. Bryson Hammer, the return for the Little Giants, who will start their sixth drive from their own 26 with 54 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Dominating performance from St. John's here tonight. To this point, see if the Little Giants can string together a couple plays here, and it's a positive momentum going into halftime.
Yeah, they'd like to get something going here just inside a minute left in the half. They'd like to hang some point on the board if possible. This St. John's defense has just been all over them.
Ball hawking. Daniel Rusher going backwards, 2-yard loss. Just nowhere for him to run tonight. Second down and 12 from 24. St. John's getting some of their floats in position for the halftime festivities tonight. 12 from the 24 with 20 seconds remaining. One final play should take us to the break. Tight end in motion. Brandon, it's a grounded snap. LeGroux will field it and get back to the line of scrimmage for no gain before he is bowled under. And that will end the first half. A rough one for the Fremont Ross Little Giants. They trail the St. John's Jesuit Titans here on homecoming for SJJ. 37-0 here at Leiden Field tonight in Toledo. So, Mo, I mean, obviously St. John's seems to have everything going right now. Offense has driven down and scored every time, and the defense has wiggled out of a couple spots, holding Fremont Ross out of the end zone. What are, some of your other thoughts from this first half?
These Titans got it firing all cylinders, just like I was saying earlier. The offense, defense, special teams, everything going right for these Titans tonight. On the other hand, Fremont Ross just can't seem to get an offensive rhythm going. They're struggling a little bit on offense, and the defensive line, where we thought they would have a bit of an advantage, even there they seem to be having their hands full with this Titan O-line.
Do you see that as maybe the Titans overperforming tonight? Like the offensive line has really come to play and held this defensive line of Ross at bay?
I think so. I think they knew what they were going up against and what the strongest part of this little giant team was, and they prepared for it. And hats off to the Titans. They came ready.
Coach McDaniel and his staff with a tremendous scouting report. It has worked so far to the tune of a 37-0 halftime lead. We will step aside and come back for the second half shortly. Stay tuned. You are watching high school football on BCSN and the BCSN Now app.
Hi, Sean McConaughey here for SJ Game Day, brought to you by Steve Taylor, Taylor Automotive. I'm here with the head cross-country coach at St. John's, Mr. Black. Now, Mr. Black, how's this cross-country season been so far?
It's been challenging. We've been moving pretty hard with workouts. You know, there's some tough teams in this area, and we're getting stronger. This past weekend, we finished second at the Clay Invitational, and that was our highest place of the year. So we're moving in the right direction. We got a lot of young kids. We have 2 seniors in our top 7, a junior, and then it's sophomores and freshmen. So there's a lot of youth in our program, and they're finally getting the ability and understanding how to race.
All right, sounds good. Now, cross-country is an individual sport, but it's also a team sport. So as a coach, how do you teach teamwork in an event such as running in cross-country?
Right. You know, you hear a lot of people talk about individual, and no matter how you do, you can always look at you individually, but we talk about team. We break down every Tuesday how we scored and how we compete against the other teams. So people that don't understand, it's just like golf. You want to get the lowest score. So if you're a winner in a race, that's 1 point, and you want to get the lowest points. So we try to match up with their number 1 runner versus our number 1 runner. We try to put our runners in front of their runners. So example like this last weekend in the JV race, we went 1, 2, 3, 4 and put 4 runners in before and 4 Whitmer's first runner. So that's how we really preach teamwork and team scoring. But if you can learn to train with your teammates, then you can run with them in a race, and then you can help put yourself in front of other runners as a team.
All right. Now, as the season comes to a close and the postseason approaches, what are you expecting from your team?
Well, you always go in a goal every year to win the conference. I mean, it's not going to come to us easy. Whitmer probably is a favorite right now, and we lost to them this past weekend. But we have been making great strides. We beat St. Francis 2 weekends ago for the first time in probably 4 years at the All Catholic down in Dayton. So that was a big boost for us. And then Findlay is another team that's probably one of the top favorites. So we have to match up again, like I said, is match up with the Findlay kids, the St. Francis kids, and the Whitmer kids, and that will give us a chance to win. So, you know, obviously the highest place we can get, win number 1 would be great, and if number 2 would be runner-up, that would be awesome as well.
All right, good luck, Coach. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sean McConaughey for SJ Game Day, brought to you by Steve Taylor, Taylor Automotive.
Hi, this is Ian Stawinski coming to you live from the Taylor Automotive Studio with Game Day Nation. I'm joined by Coach Orr with the golf team. First of all, Coach Orr, congratulations on winning the track title for the 7th time in a row, 8 times in the last 9 years. One of the team leaders, Joey Hoppenjans, he shot a 75 at track championships, and there's been a lot of talent coming from the underclassmen. What can you tell us about this particular class or this particular year and how this ranks among the recent years?
Yeah, so like you mentioned, young. We got 2 freshmen, a sophomore. Joey's a junior, so definitely a young class overall in terms of the golf team. Lots of success. We've also been humbled quite a few times throughout the season, which is good. Just keeps things in perspective so the guys know that there are other teams out there that can definitely play better than you on any given day as well. But I think we got the talent, we got the want, the desire to take care of some of the goals that we have in mind.
Yeah, thank you. Like I said, we obviously won the track again, recent success in the last 10 years. What can you give us as an overall assessment for the season?
So overall, yes, another track title, which is always great. We just had our sectional play yesterday. The goal was just to finish in the top 5. We finished number 2 overall behind Perrysburg, and we knew going into that Perrysburg and Northview were going to be our toughest competition. All 3 of those teams made it out, as well as Anthony Wayne and St. Francis. They finished 5th overall. Going into our districts next week, it's going to be the same competition. Essentially, we're thinking it's going to be between us, Perrysburg, and Northview. We like our shot, but at the same time, like I mentioned earlier, it's any given team on that day, whoever's ready to compete, to play well. But our guys, we've had a couple practice rounds at the course at Sycamore Springs in the Tiffin area. They're familiar with it. I think they're going to be ready.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Finally, Coach, postseason play is approaching. What can Titan fans expect to see from the Titans this year in the postseason?
Yeah, like I said, Sycamore is coming up next week, next Thursday. We're really hoping to just be in the top two advance the states. Like I said, we've been able to beat those other two teams that are in contention as well. But there's other teams that we got to watch out for too. So making sure we're able to show up that day, compete to our abilities, just be ready to manage the course, not trying to do anything out of the ordinary, and just to make sure we place ahead and just play the course as it lies.
Thanks, Coach. We appreciate it. We appreciate the time. Coming to you live from the Taylor Automotive Studio, I'm Ian Stawinski with Game Day, signing off.
Since it's our mask show, there's a Batman mask. Now it's the most feared mask of all. The march from Star Wars and the fearsome Darth Vader. The Imperial March. With all these masks, we're not sure who anyone is. Ask ourselves again, who are you? That concludes our mass show. Hope you weren't too frightened. Hope you enjoyed the memory. And now, we are the Fremont Ross marching Little Giants. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome to the field the superior rated high school marching band, your St. John's Jesuit Marching Titans. St. John's would like to congratulate our marching Titans on receiving Best Concussion, Class B, Best Guard in Class B, First Place in Class B, and overall Best Visual at the competition in Ottawa, Orlando. This year we want to take you to a place few people have ever been. It's full of adventure and a mystery. This year our competition show is called Rainforest. Make sure you have a firm grip to your seat as you plunge deep into the hearts of the forest and experience all the thrills and excitements of this wild, wonderful world. Meyer and Madison Williams set up base camp while coaching color guard. Cole Sauber and Trey Jones are cutting their way through the brush. They are busy instructing the percussion. And bars, Maxine Besto, Adam Lampkin, Zach Carpushka are fending off the wild animals. Martin Titans like to thank the St. John's for your continued support. Thank you and go Titans.
Everybody
homecoming night here at Leiden Field in Toledo on the campus of St. John's Jesuit High School. They have commanded this ball game to this point, 37-0. They lead Fremont Ross and will be kicking off to begin the second half. Kevin Peel, Mo Jarouche with you here tonight. Charlie Schanenberger, our excellent director extraordinaire, and Andrew Everhart, our cameraman. Thank you so much for tuning in with us here tonight on what has been a fall-like evening, to say the least, here in Toledo. Soft boot from Schlabowski and a sliding grab made at the 35, and Fremont Ross will take over here at their own 35 to start off this drive. So, you know, obviously a tough situation for Coach Long. His team down several scores here at the half. What do you kind of say to your team in the locker room just to kind of get them up for the second half, Mo?
Well, you know, you want your guys to know there's still 2 quarters to play. And, you know, the scoreboard says one thing, but you can't give up. You got to keep on fighting through this and, you know, make something happen here for your guys.
Cyrus LeGroux starting off the half with a completion to Spencer Price, his second grab of the ball game. Price making some nifty moves and went upfield for 4. Knighton Byers the stop for the Titans, bringing up 2nd and 6 from the 40. So Caden Holmes got the start here tonight, but Cyrus LeGroux starting in the second quarter was inserted into the ball game. And in motion at the slot, they're going to go with an option play. Cyrus LeGroux pitches it to Rushing. Rushing hoping to go outside and pushed back at the 41-yard line. A couple yards on that gain. Gary Batch came up to make a stop. Juju Jackson also helping for St. John's. 3rd down and 5.
Titans read that option all the way. They saw it coming, all over it. Easy stop.
LeGroux on 3rd and 5 from the 41. He's standing at his own 36. 3 receivers, 2 to the right. LeGroux going to roll, pressure behind him. Throws low and incomplete off the fingertips of Spencer Price at the 43. And he had a defensive back right behind him ready to make contact. So 4th down and 5, 3 and out for Fremont Ross to start this half.
Looking a little nervous, these little Giants. This offense coming out in a little bit of trepidation.
Yeah, we did notice that. Quick pressure being applied to LeGroux. Didn't have a lot of time to throw the ball in that series. That has been an issue tonight. Low driving punt and fumbled. Second time on special teams. So the Titans have lost the football, and Fremont Ross will take it at the 30. So is that Dimitri Mitsopoulos? It was a rare mistake from him. Ball went right through the breadbasket and down to the ground where Fremont Ross scoops it up, and St. John's has 2 turnovers tonight.
Second time tonight for the Little Giants, capitalizing on special teams.
Yeah, they'll now try and score here from the 30-yard line. LeGroux over the middle, incomplete.
Quick strike there.
Intended for Bryson Hammer, intended receiver. Austin Perkins, the linebacker, nearly undercut it and intercepted it. 2nd and 10. So another fortuitous break. Of course, the only turnover in that first half from Fremont Ross, the pick 6. Gary Batch returned the rest of the way on what was the first drive of the night for the Little Giants. 2nd and 10. LeGroux outside, incomplete. There's the flag. Thrown. Overthrew Carson Brandon. But Blade Byer, the junior linebacker, made contact with the receiver before the ball got into the vicinity of Brandon while it was still in the air. So that will be a first down for the Little Giants as they move it into the red zone for the second time. They'll mark it at the 15. Nice break there for the Little Giants.
Fremont Ross hoping to capitalize on this special teams mistake by the Titans.
First and 10, LeGroux with time over the middle. Nice sliding grab made at the 4. And over the middle to Bryson Hammer for 11 yards. First and goal for the Little Giants.
Well, this is an opportunity the Little Giants haven't had this evening. Let's see if they can capitalize on it.
Yeah, first and goal for the first time tonight for Fremont Ross. 7-17 play in the third quarter of a 37-0 game. LeGroux pitches it rushing. Coming near side, spins out of a tackle, and he is mauled at the 5 as the Titans came to help. A couple of the men in the area, Austin Perkins, Chris Lash with the tackle, the senior linebacker, 5'10", 215. Loss of 1, second and goal. Rushing initially had space, but I think we're seeing just how quick these linebackers are, Mo. They have closed rapidly tonight on the ball carriers.
All night we've been seeing them get pressure on the quarterback, getting pressure on these running backs. They've got speed and they are using it.
LeGroux finds an alleyway and goes into the end zone on the read option play for the Fremont Ross touchdown. Nicely done by Cyrus LeGroux, who's able to move in for the touchdown. Coming into tonight, LeGroux had 2 rushes for -10 yards on the season, and he has his first rushing score of the year, 37-6.
That's exactly what the Little Giants needed coming out of the halftime locker.
Able to capitalize on the turnover and did so in 5 plays. And now the extra point blocked, and Fremont Ross will fall on it at the 17. So, well, actually just a chaotic play altogether, but it didn't work out for Fremont Ross. 37-6, St. John's Jesuit in the lead. 6:28 to go in the third quarter. But still a big positive, Mo, to get on the board, and a great play design. That was one of the largest holes we've seen this ground attack have this evening.
Yeah, the Little Giants finally got their offensive line targeting the D-line and made it happen.
So St. John's will get ready to touch the football for the first time in this half, with almost half of the quarter elapsed here at Leiden Field. Titans entering play tonight 2-3, 0-2 in the track. Fremont Ross 1-4, 0-2. Both these teams looking for their first victory. The Titans in line to get it, although their 2 losses in track play are pretty solid ones. Central Catholic and Whitmer played both those teams very hard. Central Catholic a couple weeks ago here. CJ Valentine picking up the kick, and he's up to the 39-yard line. Tristan Hall, the senior defensive lineman, with the stop. The running clock has paused here because it's down to a 31-point game. And now has restarted because it's above 30. There is a running clock. It only stops in between possessions. So the Titans with a different formation, a pistol, and a couple running backs. And Lichtenberg not in the game, as you would expect him not to be, with the margin being the way it is. A 1-yard loss for Valentine on the first play. So you see Blake Lichtenberg, the quarterback, in for St. John's. 2nd and 11. And Lichtenberg, a handoff to Valentine. He was getting pulled down from behind right away. And two Little Giants combining Josh Adkins and Micah Hill to bring him down for a loss of, or a gain of 1, 3rd and 10.
Looked like a horse collar tackle there.
Was kind of close, wasn't it? They did have a bit of a grab. They had grabbed a hold of Valentine. So for the Little Giants' sake, fortunately for them, no penalty was called. Blake Lichtenberg, the freshman QB, 2 years younger than Brady. 3rd and 10 from the 39. Gets away from pressure, now is going to go down, sacked back to the 30-yard line. Strong play there by the defensive line as we see Jason Burling, the senior nose tackle, get in there and sack him for a loss of 7.
That's what we were expecting all night from this Little Giants front line defense, but the Titan offensive line has had their way with them from the opening.
First punt of the game for the Titans comes here in their first drive of the second half. They bring everyone and they get it away. Contact made with the punter. And we'll see if it's running into or roughing. It was 4th and very long. The punt down at the 25-yard line. The punter, Blaze Witten, though, the senior, was hit there. Roughing the punter. And if they called roughing, it's going to be a first down for the Titans, and they will. Yikes. Not what you wanted there.
Definitely not a penalty the Little Giants wanted there. Hoping they could build some momentum on that last scoring drive, and unfortunately an ill-timed penalty.
Titans will have the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line.
So that turns into a no play. We're down to 3 minutes to go in the third. From the 45, it's a 15-yard penalty. Blake Lichtenberg in the pistol, hand off, and contacted in the backfield was the ball carrier, Carson Toth. Strong defensive front. Marcus Peters, the junior defensive lineman, for no gain. Although Toth showed his strength there as he kind of leaned forward and still got a no gain out of it. Blake Lichtenberg throws it complete. Had Jack Ryder open on a slant crossing midfield.
Just off his fingertips. That looked to be a catch, but just couldn't reel it in.
Yeah, that was kind of an interesting play altogether thrown out there. Lichtenberg fielded the snap with his right hand solo and then was able to make the throw to Ryder, but Ryder couldn't hold on. 3rd and 10 from the 45. Under 2 to go in the third for this running clock. Lichtenberg had a screen set up, trying to split the defenders, and he won't. A sack for the Little Giants. Look at the strong efforts there of LeBron's Barnett and Dontrez Brown making the sack. 4th and 20, and it looks like Ross will be off the field again.
That time we saw the Little Giants bring 2 rushers full steam. They got to Lichtenberg that time.
So 2 sacks in this series for the Little Giants, who have outscored St. John's 6-0 in the period. Witten is back at the punt once again from the 20. They bring pressure, but not as strongly. Fair catch called for and made at the 32 by Spencer Price. And Fremont Ross will get the football with 1:04 remaining in the third, down 37-6. But we see some positives from the defensive side. That defensive line waking up, Mo. A couple sacks on the last series.
Yeah, that's kind of what we were expecting from these Little Giants, and that time we saw the pressure. They got to Lichtenberg quick. Now looking to do something on the offensive end.
LeGroux will go to the air, fakes one way, throws, intercepted at the 37. And looking for a block. Try and spring him. He'll go down at the 35. John Speidel, an excuse me football right into his lap. And he's able to return it for 7. Now a flag comes in late. Not what you want to see here. Unsportsmanlike conduct, it appears, from one of the sides after Speidel with the interception will give St. John's the football in plus territory. Second pick of the night, first for LeGroux, and the unsportsmanlike conduct actually goes on the Titans. That's not going to make Coach McDaniel happy.
Not sure what LeGroux saw there, but he threw it directly at that Titan defender.
So Speidel with the interception. And St. John's, they may not have to run a play. Well, they'll have to run one play, it appears, after the penalty. They'll start from the Fremont Ross 45 with 38 seconds remaining in quarter number 3. Blake Lichtenberg with 2 running backs, 1 on each side, 3 receivers, 1st and 10. They're going to throw it. Lichtenberg down the field, up top, and making the catch, tiptoeing the sideline, was Thomas Zyros, who has already had himself a huge night. Caught it all the way down to the 13-yard line for a first down. That's a gain of 32 in the end of the third quarter. So St. John's on a great throw from Blake Lichtenberg, set up to try and get on the board again. They lead 37-6 at the end of 3 quarters tonight at Leiden Field. You are watching high school football here on the BCSN Now app. Kevin Peel, Mo Jarouche with you, and there's a look at what could be the future after Brady Lichtenberg departs. You have Blake Lichtenberg coming out here and making a couple throws too, but nonetheless, there were some positives in that third quarter from the Little Giants, which were good to see.
Definitely a better third quarter than the first 2 for the Little Giants. They'd like to get their offense firing the right way, and they definitely need to take care of these penalties. That seems to be the problem for them tonight, just the ill-advised mistakes.
Yeah, no question. Yeah, the penalty is something you don't want to have in a ball game like this, 37-6. It's not going to cost you tonight if you're the Titans, but down the road, being disciplined is going to be important if this team is going to try and win out and get that mark to 7-3.
Absolutely, they can't take these kinds of mistakes with them and hope to build on their record. So this is definitely something Coach Mack will be keying in on this week, I would imagine.
St. John's in the navy and gold on homecoming will move left to right in quarter number 4, running clock. And the visiting white for Fremont Ross. And they're trying to shovel pass with Metsopoulos, who's stretching the field all the way. Stays in bounds, spins off one, and is forced out of bounds at the 8 by Micah Hill, who had some help on that play as well. Nicholas Miley also helping. 4 yards. 2nd and 6 as the fourth quarter begins. Featuring Metsopoulos, of course, such a talented player that St. John's loves to get the football. They haven't had to feature him a ton today with jumping out in front early. Blake Lichtenberg to the air and incomplete. Wanted Zyros in the back of the end zone, but overthrew him just a bit. 3rd down.
Been going to Zyros a lot tonight, and that time it looked like he had him, but just couldn't make that extension.
And Zyros has had a huge night here for St. John's. Big part of this offense, a couple touchdown grabs. 3 for 50 yards. Hand off Valentine, a Stretch play. Works down to the 5. Not going to quite pick up the first down. Donchez Brown moved backwards to pick up the stop. And it's 4th and 1 for St. John's, maybe a long one. So we'll see what they do here. You're going to go for it. Blake Lichtenberg has Valentine behind him. 3 receivers. Ryder is slot left. 1. Valentine bounces it outside. Here come the Little Giants. They're going to converge and force him out as CJ Valentine is denied an opportunity to move the chains. At the forefront of the play, Daniel Rusher doing a great job forcing him to the boundary, and Fremont Ross keeps St. John's off of the scoreboard. 37-6, 9:43 to play.
Uncharacteristic turnover on downs there by the Titans tonight. Not something we've seen from them.
Yeah, absolutely. After the getting the football off the interception and not quite able to make anything happen. So deep in their own territory from the own 8. LeGroux throws it out there, incomplete. Wobbly pass. 2 receivers in the area. Carson Brandon, the tight end. Anthony Van was behind him, closer to the sideline. 2nd and 10 for LeGroux. What are your thoughts on Cyrus LeGroux, who we didn't see in the opening quarter, Mo, but has at times been able to help this Little Giants offense move it?
Seems like he's been able to get them moving. Like you said, he gives them a little bit more consistency.
And that's what they're looking for here as they try and build towards the final couple games. Strong run, shedding tackles, and Rusher finally taken down. Tyler Babb, sophomore linebacker, finally brings him down, but not before a first down. Rocktoth hoping on the stop. First down to the 20. LeGroux has an offset tight end left. Wants the screen, then throws out there, caught at the 28, and crossing the 30 to the 32 is Carson Brandon. Nice little play design, looked like a screen, and then just decided to throw down the field to Brandon and hit him.
Very nice design play right there. Looked like he was going to dump off to his running back and went against the grain and found his tight end.
And whistle. Timeout. Taken by Fremont Ross, their first of the half. And it comes with 7:43 remaining in quarter number 4. 37-6. The Titans are in the lead. And of course, you know, you think about the track and a couple big games coming up, Mo, and one that I know this area has been watching out for a long time. Central Catholic and Whitmer going to face each other next week at Central. What a game that's going to be. Of course, you have down the line as well St. John's and St. Francis, the big rivalry too between those two schools. So plenty of great track games still to come.
Definitely next week's matchup. Clash of heavyweights should be an exciting one, no doubt about it. 2 of the heaviest hitters in the track with Central and Whitmer.
First and 10 from the 32 for LeGroux out of the timeout and underthrew his intended target. Back 2 defensive backs, the closest ones to it. The receiver did not branch off his route. Anthony Van was the one that LeGroux hoped would catch the ball. 2nd and 10 at the 32. Down to 7:10 to go. Running clock continuing. St. John's leading by 30 points or more as we work in the second half. But Fremont Ross is the only points of this half. LeGroux with a bubble screen outside, showing some speed. And the ever-speedy Bryson Hammer was able to shed a couple tackles. That was a tough 4-yard pickup, 3rd and 6. And do we have another timeout? We have an injury timeout. Big fact. Bryson Hammer has been busy here today. 37-6, St. John's in the lead. Yeah, this was an official's timeout. But for St. John's, you know, trying to rebound from, especially last week, a tough loss, but they've lost a couple tough ones here in recent times. Just the type of effort you wanted, right?
This is exactly what the Titans wanted tonight. No better way to right the ship than by a convincing, lead against a team like Fremont Ross. Great effort tonight by the Titans.
3rd and 4 from the 38. They respotted the football. LeGroux moving a receiver from right to left. There's 2 on that left side. LeGroux going to roll that way and throw, and the catch made at the 45. Tough catch made by Darian Ayers, the sophomore wideout. Also plays defensive back. Darian Ayers for 9. And a Little Giants first down.
This is a rhythm we didn't see from the Little Giants in the first half. They seem to be getting something going here. Unfortunately, the clock isn't on their side.
Past the halfway point of the 4th, and it's a running clock. LeGroux down the middle and nearly able to extend his hands out and make the catch. Ayers getting busy down the middle and had his defensive back beat. He was a step ahead of Chris Lash, the linebacker. 2nd and 10. Again, pretty good ball from LeGroux, though. Couldn't have asked for really much better of a throw. Led his receiver nicely.
Great effort by his receiver. Great throw by LeGroux, just not enough there. Couldn't get to it.
2nd and 10 from the 47. And the give is to Rusher. And he will not rush forward for much, just a yard up to the 48. 3rd and 9.
St. John smothered him immediately. As soon as he got a hold of that ball, they were all over him. He didn't have much chance to get anywhere with that.
3 receivers set. Running back is Rusher. 3rd and 9. Pressure off the side, and the catch made, middle of the field at the 45 and up to the 40. First down for Fremont Ross. They've done great on 3rd downs. Carson Brandon with the catch. St. John's using Dean Romaker along with Brody Gill to bring him down. Another first down.
And LeGroux able to go to the middle of the field every time. It's been a good place for him. These defensive backs of the Titans leaving a lot of room for these receivers in the middle of the field, and LeGroux taking full advantage.
Second catch of the drive for Brandon. There's the middle again. Catch made, another first down. Still pushing the pile. Fremont Ross. What a drive they're putting together here late in the contest. Carson Brandon. Strong wideout. And he's bullying some defenders right now. 16 more.
Even the scoreboard, even though it doesn't read the way Fremont Ross wants to, this is something that they can build on going into the next contest. This has been a good second half for them.
1st and 10 from the 24, down the middle, caught at the 10 and twisted down at the 6, and with a flag. And the catch made by Darian Ayers. And I think there may have been a face mask or a shot to the head there, which, yep, it is a face mask against the Titans. She'll add 3 more on to the end of the play. What a drive. 18 yards on that gain. And then +3 for the personal foul. So knocking on the door of a touchdown here with 2:30 to go. Fremont Ross rolling. LeGroux. Pressure to the end zone. Caught for the touchdown. Darian Ayers makes the catch. And it's 37-12 with 2:29 to go. Cyrus LeGroux, his first touchdown pass of the season.
That's exactly what Fremont Ross needed. They came out in this second half and they have controlled the tempo.
Yeah, they have dominated the tempo to this point, absolutely. A long drive that started with 9:43 left in the fourth quarter. Extra point up and good to complete that drive. So 37-13 is the score. St. John's leads Fremont Ross with 2:29 to go. Now St. John's will have the opportunity to run the ball, run some clock. The running clock, though, is no longer in effect because of the touchdown to get the game inside 30. But boy, what a long, lengthy drive for the Fremont Ross Little Giants. A drive that took up 7 minutes and 14 seconds worth of time in the quarter, and they drove it 92 yards from their own 8 to score.
It's been all Fremont Ross on offense this half. Titans very limited in their time of possession this second half.
Ends up being a 12-play drive. I mean, Mo, are you a little concerned if you're Coach McDaniel with Fremont Ross kind of dominating the time of possession and really dominating the play here in the second half despite having the huge halftime lead?
This is definitely something, if I were Coach Mack, we'd be looking at this week in practice. This is something, you have to be able to finish strong in a game. You can't get complacent with a 30-point lead, especially against a team like Fremont Ross. Just like we're seeing, they will make you pay.
So CJ Valentine with the return to the 44 on the pooch kick there from the Little Giants. 2:22 to play in the fourth quarter. So the two drives in this half for St. John's. 7 plays, no yards, 5 minutes, 12 seconds, punt. Last drive, they drove it down after the interception. 5 plays, but then turnover on downs at the 8. And then Fremont Ross took over, drove it all the way down to score. 1st and 10 from the 45 for Blake Lichtenberg. And the ball hits the carpet. But St. John's not going anywhere. 43, PJ Hancock with the carry for St. John's.
Low snap there. Able to scoop it up and somehow turn it into only a 2-yard loss.
Getting a new ball carrier in is St. John's. Mix and match a bit. They are going to run the clock down to 10 now on the play clock. Lichtenberg with Hancock. 2nd down, 12. Gives to Hancock, and he is bottled up at the line of scrimmage. LeBron's Barnett was the brick wall on that play, 3rd and 12. And the ground game, not much going for St. John's in this second half. LJ Hancock.
Titans just looking to melt some time off this clock.
If they do go 3 and out here, Fremont Ross will probably get the football back with 10 seconds or so. Down to 3, down 2 on the clock. Lichtenberg handoff. And bouncing off of a tackle was James Henry, sophomore running back. And he was not able to find much room. Barnett the stop for Fremont Ross, 4th down and 11. So it's actually even less than that. 30 seconds left on the clock, 24 left here on the play clock. So one more play at least.
I think the Titans are just going to take their 4th down here and See if they can't convert it into a first down, or they'll give it back to Fremont Ross with a few seconds left on the play, on the game clock.
Lichtenberg throws it out there, incomplete. Overshooting his intended man, Dalen Glaze, sophomore wideout. 4 seconds remaining in the contest. Fremont Ross will have time for one more play. St. John's turns it over on downs. So 3 scoreless drives in the second half for the Titans here today. Nonetheless, though, the game was in hand. But Fremont Ross, they played hard in this second half with 13 points on the board. Make sure they weren't shut out today. And it looks like LeGroux will just go down to a knee and finish this one off, which will be a St. John's victory, and he does. LeGroux to a knee, ball game, and St. John's, they rebound the way they needed to. A 37-0 lead at the half, and they go on to win 37-13 here tonight, improving to 3-3 on the season, 1-2 in the track. While on the other side of things, Fremont Ross falls to 1-5 and 0-3. So these teams will continue in track play next week. St. John's, for them, mission accomplished tonight, Mo, getting a huge victory.
Absolutely. The Titans on homecoming and Hall of Fame night got the job done, 37-13 against the Fremont Ross Little Giants, and improved their record to 3-3.
Yeah, tremendous job for St. John's, and they've got to be relieved to get that first track win into the bag. Of course, Brady Lichtenberg didn't have to do a ton tonight, but made a lot of nice throws early on in the contest.
Definitely. Him and Zyros had that connection going tonight, and it paid off. They capitalized, no doubt.
And the defense focused. One of the things that Coach was hoping for, Coach Back, was that his team would tackle better, and it seems like they did today. Really eliminate a lot of big play potential for the Little Giants.
Absolutely. First half, they got after that Fremont Ross offense, didn't let them get a rhythm going. They couldn't get much established, and they got their defensive assignments done tonight, the Titans.
So Fremont Ross, nothing really to take from that first half, but the second half, an impressive showing. Cyrus LeGroux got the offense going. You put 13 points on the board. You take the running clock off. They did a great job, especially holding on to the football in the second half.
If I'm Coach Long, I'm not too discouraged by this loss. Obviously, the scoreboard, doesn't read the way you want it to, but the effort was there tonight. They came out in the second half, made the necessary adjustments, but unfortunately, they dug themselves too big of a hole in the first half, and they just couldn't overcome it. But a lot of positives there in the second half to build on.
So we wind down the broadcast here tonight. Any final thoughts for you, Mo? Your first broadcast on the BCSN airwaves.
It was a great broadcast. It was a pleasure working with you guys. Excellent game, exciting. Titans win.
On to the next one, right?
That's it.
On to the next one. Well, Mo Jarouche, thank you so much, sir. Excellent work tonight.
Thanks,
and also
Kevin.
to Charlie Schanneberger, our director extraordinaire, and Andrew Eberhardt, our cameraman. Thank you guys for all your efforts as well. Tonight, St. John's, they are a winner over Fremont Ross, improving to 3-3 with a 37-13 win. This has been high school football on BCSN Now. For my partner, Mo Jarouche, I'm Kevin Peel saying good night from Leiden Field in Toledo. St. John's wins on homecoming and Hall of Fame night, 37-13.